Hey guys, welcome back here to Intuitive Angling, and appreciate you guys swinging by the channel and checking out today's video. And guys, today we're going to be talking about flat-sided crankbaits, because flat-sided crankbaits are one of the best late winter, early springtime lures out there. And right now we're getting into the first part of February. Next week we're getting into February, and pretty much, you know, from about the middle of February on up to early April, flat-sided crankbaits are some of the best lures that you can fish if you have the right conditions for them. So what I'm going to do in today's video is I've got 3 flat-sided crankbaits, 3 or 4 different ones that I like based upon different situations. And I'm going to go over specifically the situations that a flat-sided crankbait will produce in. So we're going to get into that in today's episode here. Also guys, talking about other lures that work this time of year, I'd like to invite everybody to please check out my new Blaukat Power Finesse Throwback jig. I worked with Cumberland Lures the last year and a half to design this. Living rubber frog hair skirt, guys. Absolutely the best cold water skirt that you can get. Got three different sizes, 6 different colors. So I'll put my Blaukat Throwback jig and the Power Finesse Throwback jig link in the Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video. And just get you anything like this with brown or purple or brown, put a green chunk on it or some type of a green twin tailer like this, and really good bait to fish in the winter time of the year. Okay guys, every part of bass fishing, it's like there's a constant shift in the lures and the profiles that the bass prefer. Now that shift and that preference for the baits that they prefer has a lot to do with, you know, increasing or decreasing daylight hours, the water visibility, the water temperature, time of year, water levels, a lot of variables that go with it. But for flat-sided crankbaits, I'm not saying they don't work any other time of the year, but by far the best time to fish a flat-sided crankbait is when the water temperature is between 45 and 55 degrees. This is the key window for it. So I want to talk a little bit about that specific window of conditions, talk a little bit about the baits here. So now, first of all, I want to go over the baits that I use, the specific specific flat sides, and then we'll get into the conditions. The first one I use, guys, is any type of like a wooden flat-sided crankbait. This is a homemade one right here, and this is the Berkeley Fritz side right here. Homemade ones are hard to get to, so the Fritz side is a really good one. This is a really good bait here, guys, as far as anytime the water's got a little bit of color to it. And also, guys, I'll link all 3 of these baits. I'm going to be talking about the Fritz side, the Megabass Flap Slap, and the Megabass Sonic side. I'll put all 3 of these in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video if you guys would like to pick one up after the video. But anyway, the little wooden ones like this, the smaller ones, usually in some type of a crawdad pattern, are really good in a stained water condition in cold water. Now, a lot of people think, well, you know, they don't bite in stained water very good in cold water. Not true. If you have the right set of situations where that water temperature is 45 to 50 degrees, this is the window I'm talking about for the little crawdad pattern wooden flat sides. Water temperature 45 to 50 degrees, some type of water visibility that's like 1 to 2 foot of clarity, and rocky banks that have a fairly steep slope to it. So this would be like cranking a channel bank, cranking a riprap bank, you know, any type of a rocky bank that has a 45 to 60 degree slope to it, where you have water visibility of about that to about that. Is going to be perfect for these little crawdad patterns like this. Now, with this particular one, it's really critical as far as fishing it right. These, like the Fritz side here, you can see the lip on it there, and even the homemade one here. Like, I think this is the, that's just some homemade one, but you can see the lip there. These things don't run down much over about 4 foot deep. But even if that water temperature is in the upper 40s or around 50, and if you have water visibility of like 1 to 2 foot, those fish are going to be in that 3 to 4 foot zone, even in that cold water. And one of the things you want to do with this is you've got to fish it on a spinning rod with light line. I usually put a little suspend strip on it. I do not want it floating up. I want it staying down. I usually put it on 6 to 8 pound test Seagarn Vizex fluorocarbon line, 611 Megabass spinning rod. And guys, I'll just make long parallel casts down, not necessarily long ones, but just a, you know, medium to long parallel cast down that rocky bank, trying to target that 3 to 4 foot zone. Now, the thing about a flat side, what you're going to find is different, a different type of crankbait. Most other crankbaits in the cold water, you got to be digging that bottom, like a wiggle wart, knocking off the rock. Not true with a flat-sided crankbait. A flat-sided crankbait is sort of like almost a hybrid between a jerkbait and a crankbait. You do not have to be hitting the bottom to catch them with the flat-sided crankbait. Now I want it close to the bottom. I don't want it like up in the water column, but you don't have to be rooting around on those rocks. So as long as you're between on the bottom to maybe 8 or 10 inches above the bottom, you got a good chance to catch them. And with the flat side on the wooden ones it's a little bit different retrieve. It's like I'll cast out there, with my spinning rod, I'll reel it down slow like that, and I'll pull it like that, maybe twitch it a little bit and just start cranking it, pull it and twitch it a little bit. That's a really good way to fish the little wooden ones like this. But these are very situational, and usually I'm using some type of a red or reddish orange, to stand out a little bit more in that off-colored water. But if you get that right situation, guys, they will hammer these little, balsa, crawdad pattern flat sides. If I could give you a perfect scenario, I would pick water temperatures 48 to 50 degrees and water visibility of about 12 to 15 inches. And a steep rocky bank, that's going to be perfect situation for this. Okay, the next one that I use, guys, and you've heard me talking about this a lot. This is the Megabass Flap Slap right here. This is actually one that I custom painted myself. Got it all set up for wintertime fishing. I got a suspend strip on the bottom like there that I painted red. Got my red gills on it. Perfect cold water bait, guys. When the water's 45 to 55, all these baits I'm talking about fall into that range. The flap slap's a little bit different than the wooden square bill, or excuse me, the wooden flat-sided crankbait, because you got a little bit more diversity with it. On the flap slap, when you put it on, and I fish all these guys on a spinning outfit. When you put this on 8-pound test line with the spinning rod, you're going to get this bait down the flap slap probably in that 5 to 7 foot range, depending upon the length of your cast. So this is going to be really, really good, especially if you have some type of submergent vegetation. So if you got like some hydrilla or a milfoil that's growing in about 5 or 6 foot of water, that's growing maybe that far off the bottom, perfect situation for the flap slap. Rocky banks, riprap, same with the the balsa ones. Just paralleling those rocky banks with this. Riprap bank in the wintertime is a really good bait for the flap slap. I catch a ton of fish on it with it. And I'm working it the same way. I'm sort of working it with that, slow, medium retrieve, twitching a little bit, pulling it, twitching it. That's how you want to work all of the flat-sided crankbaits with it. But you've heard me talk about the flap slap a lot on the channel here, guys. This is an incredible freaking bait. If you have not fished it, it's a fish catching bait, unbelievable. Again, I'll have that link to my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of the video. And the final one, guys, this is the Megabass Sonic side. Now, the Sonic side is a little bit bigger than the flap slap in terms of the vertical height on the side you can see like this. And the two different scenarios that I use the flap slap versus the Sonic side, the Sonic side is for a little bit more aggressive fish and a little bit more warmer water temperatures. So the flap slap and the balsa crawdad pattern flat sides are going to be my bait for like when the water temperatures are sort of like 45 to 50, 51, 52 degrees. But if that water gets closer to 55 degrees, like on the upper end of it, that's when I go to the bigger Sonic side. It's a bigger bait. It's got a little bit more aggressive wobble on it. It's the same thing on a long cast. It's going to run down, probably 5 to 7 feet on a long cast. I weight it just like I do the flap slap and fish it around the same type of stuff. You can fish it over submergent grass. You can fish it on any type of a rocky bank. Sometimes even a gravel bank will work pretty good with it. But I like the Sonic side when the bass are a little bit more aggressive and the conditions are a little bit more low or light. So in other words, the balsa ones and the flap slap are going to work good on tougher fishing conditions when the light intensity is a little bit brighter or something like that. But the Sonic side, since it's a larger bait, I like sort of a cloudy, windy condition, normal temperatures or maybe a little bit warmer conditions, just when those bass are more actively feeding, a little bit windier conditions since it's a larger bait. But those are the three, guys, that I use right here more than anything else, during this time of year. The Sonic side and the little square bill. This is the Fritz side here, and the freaking flap slap. Guys, you hear me talking about this a lot. You can't believe how deadly this bait is. I cannot believe that more people do not fish it. A flap slap should be a household name in every tackle box across the country. It's that good. And the people that fish this thing and understand its fish catching potential, understand it, it is just a freaking deadly bait, guys. I mean, the fish love this thing. It's so natural looking, narrow like that. They hammer this thing. So anyway, guys, that's my flat-sided crankbait routine. You can't go wrong. You know, just paralleling rocky banks, you know, gravelly banks too, something that drops off a little bit, channel type banks or over grass. I know a lot of people don't have grass where they fish, but one of the easiest ways to catch them on it is if you have a lake that has riprap on it. Riprap is an excellent late winter, early springtime structure. A lot of big fish move up on it. So try some of these flat sides, you know, on riprap. That's an easy way to catch them right off the bat. Hope it helps you guys catch some good ones, and we'll talk later.